War has always been about who has the best weapons. But what if I told you that the next war won't be fought just with bullets and bombs, but with invisible weapons, machines that think for themselves, and missiles that can outrun anything we've ever seen? Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But it's real, and it's happening right now. Nations are secretly working on technologies that could change warfare forever. Some of these are terrifying, some are mind-blowing, but one thing's for sure, whoever controls them will control the future. So, which country is ahead in this high-tech arms race? And what insane military inventions are already in play? Stick around, because what you're about to see is on a whole different level.
Artificial intelligence has been a crucial tool for many nations' militaries for years. Militaries are using AI today and ahead to how it might be used in the future.
1. Artificial intelligence, AI, in military operations. Imagine a battlefield where decisions aren't made by generals, but by super-intelligent machines. That's what's happening right now. AI is being used to predict enemy movements, identify targets faster than any human could, and even make life-or-death decisions. But here's the scary part. Some countries are developing fully autonomous AI weapons. That means drones, robots, and even warships that don't need a human to pull the trigger. The US, China, and Russia are racing to perfect this technology. If they succeed, wars might be fought entirely by machines. No soldiers, just AI battling AI. But can we really trust a machine with the power to decide who lives and who dies? What if something goes wrong? We've all seen what happens in movies when AI takes control. 2. Hypersonic weapons. Now, let's talk speed. Regular missiles? Too slow. Hypersonic missiles? They make everything else look ancient. These beasts fly over 5 times the speed of sound so fast that by the time you even realize they've been launched, it's already too late. The US has the AGM-183 ARRW. China has the DF-17, and Russia's got the Avangard. These missiles don't just travel fast, they can change direction mid-air, making them almost impossible to stop. Even the best missile defense systems in the world can't catch them. Think about it, if a hypersonic missile is launched, it could strike anywhere in the world in minutes. No warning, no escape. If a major war breaks out, this could be the weapon that changes everything. Would you feel safe knowing your city could be wiped out in the blink of an eye? 3. Directed energy weapons, DEWs. What if I told you that laser weapons, the kind you see in sci-fi movies, actually exist? Well, they do, and they're already being used. Directed energy weapons are laser-based systems that can take down drones, missiles, and even aircraft with a silent, invisible beam. No explosions, no bullets, just pure energy cutting through targets like a hot knife through butter. The US Navy has already deployed laser weapons on its warships. China and Russia are testing their own versions. And guess what? These weapons have unlimited ammo. As long as there's power, they can keep firing. But here's the big question. Could we be looking at the end of traditional warfare? No more gunfights, no more dogfights. Just invisible beams wiping out everything in their path. 4. Quantum computing in defense. Now, this one might sound complicated, but stick with me. Right now, every military in the world relies on encrypted data to keep its secrets safe. But what if a supercomputer could crack any code in seconds? That's where quantum computing comes in. This technology could make current encryption useless. Countries like the US and China are racing to build quantum computers that could break into enemy systems instantly. But it's not just about hacking. Quantum computers could also create unbreakable communication systems, making military strategies completely secure. In other words, whoever wins the quantum race could control the entire digital battlefield. And in today's world, Where wars are fought with data as much as with bullets, that's a terrifying advantage. 5. Swarm robotics. Imagine a swarm of tiny drones, hundreds of them flying in perfect sync, moving like a single organism. These aren't just spy drones, they're weapons, and they're being designed to overwhelm enemy defenses in ways no traditional aircraft ever could. The idea is simple. Instead of one expensive fighter jet, you send out a cloud of cheap, self-coordinating drones. Some are kamikaze units, designed to crash into targets. Others gather intelligence, jamming enemy radars and communication systems. The US is already testing these. China, they just showed off a drone swarm that launched from a truck and coordinated an attack on a simulated battlefield. If these swarms become fully operational, it won't be fighter pilots controlling the skies, it'll be AI-driven hives of robotic assassins. Now, here's the real question. Can any defense system stop them once they're unleashed? Or is this the beginning of an era where machines outnumber and outthink human soldiers? 6. Cyber warfare capabilities. You know what's scarier than a missile? A hacker who can take over an entire country's defense systems without even stepping onto the battlefield. Cyber warfare isn't just about stealing passwords, it's about shutting down power grids, disabling military satellites, and even hijacking enemy missiles. Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly, no electricity, no internet, no way to contact anyone. Chaos? And the worst part? You don't even know who attacked you. Russia, China, the US, all of them are investing heavily in cyber weapons. In fact, some attacks have already happened. In 2010, the Stuxnet virus crippled Iran's nuclear program. Just recently, the SolarWinds attack breached some of the most secure networks in the US. Think about it. Wars used to be fought with guns. Now, it's all about who can control the digital world. And the scary part is no one's really safe. 7. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. Drones started as simple spy tools. Now, they're deadly war machines. Take the Bayraktar TB2, for example. This drone changed the game in Ukraine, taking out tanks and armored vehicles without risking a single soldier. The US has the MQ-9 Reaper, a drone that can fly for hours and strike with pinpoint accuracy. And now, we're seeing fully autonomous drones, ones that don't even need a human pilot. These things can fly in, identify a target, and strike, all on their own. But here's the crazy part. Some military planners believe the next big war won't be fought by soldiers, at all just swarms of AI-powered drones battling in the sky. So here's the question. If drones can fight wars better than humans, do we even need fighter pilots anymore? 8. Unmanned ground vehicles, UGVs. We've talked about drones in the sky. Now, imagine tanks that drive themselves. Meet UGVs, robots built for combat, reconnaissance, and even logistics. The US Army has the Ripsaw, a remote-controlled tank that moves at insane speeds and can be armed with machine guns or missiles. Russia's got the Uran-9, an unmanned combat vehicle already tested in Syria. These machines can go places humans can't: radioactive zones, high-risk battlefields, even inside enemy lines. Some can even carry wounded soldiers to safety while firing at the enemy. Now, think about this. What happens when these machines no longer need remote controls? What happens when AI starts making battlefield decisions? Would you trust a killer robot with a gun? 9. Unmanned underwater vehicles, UUVs. The oceans have always been a battlefield, but now submarines aren't the only threat. Unmanned underwater vehicles, or UUVs, are robotic submarines that can operate without human crews. They can spy on enemy ships, plant underwater mines, and even launch torpedoes. China is building massive underwater drone bases. The US has the Orca XL UUV, a giant autonomous sub that can patrol for months without surfacing. Think about that. Somewhere, right now, there could be robotic subs patrolling the deep, tracking warships, and waiting for orders to strike. And no one would even know they're there. If war breaks out at sea, will human crews even stand a chance against silent, invisible war machines? 10. 5G and advanced communication. Networks. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't sound dangerous, but absolutely is. 5G isn't just about faster internet on your phone. In war, it means real-time communication, instant battlefield updates, and AI-driven decision-making happening in milliseconds. Imagine a commander wearing an augmented reality headset, seeing every enemy position in real time. Soldiers getting live updates on targets. Drones, tanks, and warplanes all talking to each other with zero delay. That's what 5G is bringing to the battlefield. China is leading the race in military 5G, and the US is pushing hard to catch up. But here's the catch: whoever controls 5G also controls the information. What if an enemy could hack your entire battlefield network in the middle of a fight? The next war won't just be about weapons, it'll be about who controls the flow of information. And that's a fight no one can afford to lose. 11th. Internet of Military Things, IOMT. We all know how our phones, watches, and even refrigerators are connected to the internet. But imagine if every single piece of military equipment, from tanks to bullets, was connected to the web. That's the Internet of Military Things, IOMT. The concept is simple. Everything talks to everything. Soldiers wear sensors that monitor their health. Drones share real-time intel. Tanks communicate with fighter jets in the sky. But the real power of IOMT comes from its ability to gather and process data. If a tank gets hit, its system sends a signal to nearby units, alerting them to the danger. A sniper's rifle can be tracked, and soldiers' wearables can provide constant health updates. It's like a fully connected battlefield, where everything is working in sync. The US military is pushing this tech to its limits. China and Russia are also investing heavily in IOMT. The end goal? A smarter, faster battlefield where machines and soldiers work together seamlessly. But here's the big question. What happens when everything is connected? Could a cyber attack take down the entire battlefield network? The power of IOMT is undeniable, but the risks are massive. Can we handle the responsibility? 12th. Additive manufacturing, 3D printing. Now, let's talk about a game-changing technology that might just be the future of military supply chains: 3D printing. Imagine a soldier on the front lines, in the middle of a desert or jungle, needing a new part for his weapon. In the past, this would have meant waiting for a supply convoy, which could take days, if not weeks. But with 3D printing, the soldier just prints out what he needs right there on the battlefield. And it's not just about parts. Some militaries are even experimenting with printing entire weapons or drones in real time. The US has already tested 3D printed spare parts for planes and helicopters. And in a crisis, this could be a lifesaver, creating essential items on demand without waiting for a supply chain to catch up. It's not science fiction anymore. 3D printing is already saving lives on the battlefield by delivering vital parts, weapons, and even medical supplies. But what happens when an enemy learns how to hack these systems and print their own weapons? It's an entirely new kind of arms race. 13. Augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR. You've seen AR and VR in video games, right? Well, imagine using that tech in real life on the battlefield. Augmented reality, AR, allows soldiers to overlay digital data onto the physical world. Think about a soldier wearing AR glasses that show enemy positions, ammo count, or real-time tactical maps, all while keeping their hands free to operate weapons. It's like a HUD from a sci-fi movie, but it's happening now. And then there's virtual reality, VR, which is taking training to a whole new level. Instead of traditional drills, soldiers can train in fully immersive simulations. They can practice clearing buildings, fighting in urban combat zones, or even simulate entire war scenarios without ever leaving a training room. This tech has the potential to save lives by giving soldiers the best possible training and situational awareness. But what if that same tech falls into the wrong hands? Could enemies hack into our AR systems and mislead our troops in real time? The future of military training and operations is here, and it's a blend of the digital and real world. But how far can we push this tech before it gets too risky? 14. Biotechnology and human enhancement. Now, let's get into some pretty mind-bending stuff. What if humans could be enhanced with technology to become super soldiers? Biotechnology is already being used to improve human performance. Exoskeletons, for example, are giving soldiers the strength to carry massive loads without tiring. These wearable robots can amplify physical power, making even the most grueling missions easier. But it doesn't stop there. Scientists are working on genetic enhancements, cognitive improvements, and even brain-machine interfaces that could give soldiers superhuman abilities. Imagine a soldier with enhanced vision, strength, and intelligence, capable of performing complex tasks without breaking a sweat. Some experts believe that in the not-too-distant future, we'll have soldiers who are part human, part machine, trained to do things no normal person could. But here's the question: how much is too much? When do we stop calling them humans and start calling them cyborgs? And if we enhance one side, how long before the enemy does the same? 15. Space-based defense systems. Here's something that sounds like pure science fiction, but it's real. Space-based defense systems. We've already got satellites that help with communications, navigation, and weather. But imagine satellites designed specifically for defense. These systems could detect missile launches, track enemy movements, or even destroy threats from space. The US has been developing laser weapons that could be deployed in space to target incoming missiles. Russia and China have been developing similar systems. And it's not just about defense. The future of warfare could see entire battles fought in space. With anti-satellite weapons, you could cripple an enemy's communications, navigation, and intelligence systems in a heartbeat. So, what happens when space becomes the new battleground? Is there even any way to defend against a weapon from orbit? The implications of space-based warfare are huge, and we're just scratching the surface. 16. Directed energy weapons, laser and microwaves. Now, imagine a weapon that doesn't fire bullets, but instead focuses intense energy to destroy its target. Welcome to directed energy weapons. The US Navy already has a laser weapon system aboard its ships, capable of shooting down drones and missiles. These lasers are fast, accurate, and practically cost nothing after they're set up. And it's not just lasers. Microwave weapons are being developed that can fry electronics at a distance. They don't even need to hit their target, just send the right kind of energy, and the enemy's tech is toast. But here's the kicker. These weapons could potentially target not just machines, but even people. What happens when these energy-based weapons fall into the wrong hands? It's a whole new world of warfare, where lasers replace guns and microwaves replace bombs. 17. Hypersonic weapons. Ready for something even crazier? Hypersonic weapons travel at speeds faster than Mach 5. That's over 3,800 miles per hour. These weapons are unstoppable. No current missile defense system can intercept something moving that fast. Russia and China are already testing hypersonic missiles, and the US isn't far behind. Why is this such a big deal? These weapons can fly at incredible speeds, maneuver mid-air, and avoid detection. Hypersonic missiles could obliterate targets before we even know they're coming. Imagine a weapon that hits its target faster than you can blink. Scary, right? 18. Railguns. If you thought traditional guns were impressive, check out the railgun. This is a weapon that uses electromagnetic forces to launch projectiles at incredible speeds, faster than any conventional gun. Railguns can fire projectiles at over 7,000 miles per hour, and they don't even need explosives. The sheer speed and force of the projectile make it devastating on impact. The U.S. Navy has been testing railguns, and they could eventually replace traditional artillery. And get this, the range on these weapons is insane. They could potentially strike targets hundreds of miles away with pinpoint accuracy. But there's a catch: railguns require massive amounts of energy, and that's still a hurdle. But when they're perfected, they could completely change how we think about long-range attacks. If you're blown away by what's possible and want to dive even deeper into the world of military tech, make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you won't miss out on future videos that explore the wildest advancements in warfare. What do you think about these technologies? Which one scares you the most? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.